Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing Pallinghurst co-chief executive and co-founder Arne Frandsen. The interests of the Pallinghurst Group are in the battery supply chain, and they include investments in Novamondi Graphite, which develops graphite-based materials to propel the energy revolution, Talon Metals, which has a nickel, copper, and cobalt asset, Nemaska Lithium, a lithium hydroxide asset, and then South Africa's Sedibelo Resources, which operates in the Pallinghurst platinum mines in the northwest province, some 200 kilometers west of Johannesburg, where I'm now sitting. And the group also has the Impalele Platinum Group Metals project on the eastern limb of the Bushveld complex. Hi, Arne, it's great to chat to you once again. To kick off this interview, Mining Weekly would appreciate your latest insight into the world of battery materials. To what extent, in your view, are battery materials succeeding in helping to bring about the clean energy transition?
I will say that there is no doubt that electrification is a fact of life. And I think there is no doubt at all that we will all be driving battery-powered cars in the future. The question is just how near is that future? But I don't think that anyone believes that we can return on the other side of the Rubicon. We have crossed that. It is clear that in most countries, China especially, the battery-driven vehicles has cemented its position in the future. I don't say there will not be any internal combustion engines, but I have no doubt that the future will be green and the future will be EV. There are still a lot of question marks as to the speed by which this is going to roll out. But if you have seen in such a short period of time, we have a number of European countries that clearly are now selling more EVs than internal combustion engines. And we see China that really is driving this. We have obviously seen the Biden administration putting very big fines and very big tariffs onto EVs coming from China. But even with those on, the new models of electrical vehicles coming from China are really superior in a lot of respect. And the price that they are being sold at are very attractive. So I think what you see here is that China is testing for its home market, its EV capabilities, and you will then see them being the big force coming into Europe and North America. So battery materials are for sure here to stay, and they're for sure going to be in high demand. The problem is the time between now and when that happens. We have seen nickel prices under enormous pressure. We have seen lithium prices under enormous pressure. And it's nearly in every of the areas, including the anode material like graphite, that we see the kind of doubt about the speed of the rollout being reflected in depressed commodity prices.
And what is the latest news coming out of Novamondi?
I'm really happy with the progress that we are making in Canada, especially on Novamondi. If you look at the plant that we are building in Bécancour, that is a very sophisticated plant that will be able to deliver the finest anode material. And we are not the only one building there. We were the first one to start, but since we have started, we have seen Livent, we have seen POSCO, we have seen GM, we have seen Ford. All of them are coming there and building plants. And the latest we saw our friends from Northvolt also committing a very large check to Quebec.
And when it comes to Talon Metals and Nemaska Lithium, what is coming out of that?
If we take the last one first, the Nemaska Lithium, we took the decision to put that together with Livent. The subsequent again has participated in another merger. So the project itself is really going ahead. Again, the building is going up. The mine is getting ready to produce spodumene. So everything on that front is full speed ahead. And we are watching the prices of the commodities, which has been very depressed. But I think most observers are agreeing that at this point in time, we have hit the bottom. And
regarding-
talent, the biggest problem we have in some respect is that whenever we sink a new borehole, we find more nickel and the right type of nickel. And at some point in time, we obviously need to say stop and take that footprint and turn that into a mine. We are doing a lot of exciting work around that, but obviously nickel prices right now are not very exciting. And Indonesia is finding its place, I would say, in the nickel world together with China. But as we have seen, I believe that you need to have local supply chains. And I think it would be a brave North American producer that will rely on Indonesia or that will rely on China in that respect.
And looking at prices regarding the platinum group metals market, do you see PGM prices coming off the bottom?
If I had $1 for each time I predicted the bottom of the PGM cycle, I would be a rich man today. It has defied gravity so many times. It doesn't change the fundamentals that the world as we know it will need platinum, and the platinum will basically predominantly come from the Bushveld igneous complex. So I remain positive. I guess the old saying that you either pick your timing or you pick your price is right. I believe that PGMs has a very bright future, especially if we go into the hydrogen economy, and South Africa will play a very important role in that respect.
And turning to South Africa, what level of PGM price will be required to make it economically feasible to restart Sedibello's Pallinghurst platinum mines and to press ahead with the Triple Crown, the KEL, the renewable energy, and the other exciting project developments?
I don't think that there is a specific number, Martin. The thing that we are doing right now and that our management teams diligently are working on is really to try and optimize our mine, especially the lead time to get underground, where we have some of the most attractive grades that is still available on the western limb. And I would say that it's maybe not as much a price, but it's consistency. We don't like the kind of fluctuation in prices that we have seen. It's volatility, but it's volatility only in one direction, unfortunately. And what we really need to see is some stability and some positive views on the hydrogen economy. And then when that's there, we will start up as soon as we can.
And what sort of vision do you still have for the KEL technology? How will it be implemented under these circumstances?
I think it makes it even more relevant. I think that what we are seeing here now is that we need to build an underground mine for the 21st century, and that includes KEL.
And what is the latest situation with the Impalele project on the eastern limb of the Bushveld complex?
No, again, we have used this downtime to really focus on that. And it remains a very attractive project, and we will for sure mine that asset. The question is just when.
And, you know, Mining Weekly covered a webinar in Australia last week, and when South Africa was raised, they described it as a compelling new investment story, even if just in the short term. And this was owing to the strengthening of the rand, you know, the proposed cutting of repo rates that is foreseen by leading banks, you know, amid a new government of national unity being put in place. What is your view of the new South African investment story that is emerging?
I'm very positive about that, Martin. I think that it is absolutely the right thing that the politicians are doing. I think that they have been thinking outside the box. They have been thinking more about what is in the best interest of the country. And to me, it's absolutely clear that a signal of a government of national unity is the only way to go. And amongst all our investors, there is very broad support for this initiative. And I really hope that it will see the rates coming down and the rand getting some muscles back.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Arne Frandsen, the co-chief executive and co-founder of the Pallinghurst Group.